Greetings. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. Just like the world of humans is always changing, the world of spirits and what we know of as the spiritual dimensions also seem to be changing. Now, the truth is, the closer we get to unity with ultimate consciousness, we find that there is no change whatsoever. But because of the contact of human consciousness, the perception of change is always there. The importance of this in dealing with spirits is that the same entities that you read about, researched, practiced with, while in the past they served a particular purpose, you're only shorting yourself by relying on old texts, grimoires, and rituals when there are spirits who are evolving right alongside humanity. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Peace and greetings, my friend. WT. What's up, what's up? If you're interested in this topic, go ahead and hit that like button. That way, I can continue making more videos like this. So, to start this off, I'm here to announce that my upcoming course, the Spirit Summoning Master System, will begin on Thursday. That's November the 24th. And for those of you interested, the class is going to be paced at your own pace, basically. The sessions are recorded. However, for everyone who does sign up during this pre-sale time between now and Thursday, you will become a member of our ongoing live stream discussions. Because I know most of you who do practice have to keep this to yourself because there's nobody to talk to about this. But not only for conversation, also for being able to keep one another accountable and consistent with your practices. And also, each individual person has a different relationship with the spirit realm. So there will be many tips and tricks that some of you guys will come up with that I didn't think of. In any case, the spirit world appears to be changing, transforming, and evolving with every passing generation. This is how it's always happened. In ancient Kemet, in Egypt, the gods would change according to the different tribes, the different cultures, and the different groups of people that were devoted to a particular entity. And as time went on, certain entities would become absorbed into each other. That's why, looking back into history, we'll see that certain gods and goddesses represent a multitude of things. And we'll also see that in different time periods, they served a certain purpose that they ceased to serve later on in the future. Society ejects. Peace, my bro. Sugar Siren second. Peace, peace. Zach M. Peace. MC Maestro. Always great to see you. We find that same process happening in ancient Greece, where the gods and the goddesses of enemies and conquered territories, conquered peoples, would become absorbed into the pantheon and reassigned. So naturally, this can add for a lot of confusion across the board. For one who is not initiated into the spiritual sciences, you'll look and see all these different gods representing all these different things. And on top of all that, if you're not part of the culture, you feel alienated. You feel as if this is something foreign to you, that you don't even have a right to work with these. Unless you're the type to appropriate, then you'll feel right at home. But in the ancient world of dealing with spirits, there was another system. Now, as my studies from the past couple of years have always pointed back to India, I still find myself returning there as well. And what I find is that what made the Vedic system so powerful is the foundation. You see, when I say that all the gods and all the spirits, angels, demons, all these different types of entities, ancestors even, goetic spirits, any type of spirit that you can think of is changing and evolving because of the contact with humanity. You remember the TV series and the book, American Gods, where each one of the gods had to adapt to the current cycle of humanity. Well, what makes the ancient Vedic system so special, what makes the Samkhya system so special, is that the foundation is not based on content. The foundation is based on context. This is crucial. This is crucial. Because a system that is founded on content has no choice but to change. And when I say content, I mean the actual gods themselves, as opposed to what they represented. So, to be more clear, the ancient Vedic system is founded upon something very solid that does not ever change, and that is the planets and the elements. And having a system that is originally founded upon that, what makes that so special, and what makes Kabbalah so special, is that now, if your foundation is something solid, it doesn't matter what changes, because you can track and trace everything back to what's contextually solid. There's always going to be Mars, and Mars will always be represented in a specific kind of way. No matter what culture you go into, you're going to find gods and goddesses that represent Mars. You're going to find gods and goddesses that represent Jupiter, whether it is Zeus or whether it is Shango, or whether it is Brispataye. When you base your foundation on the context that is solid, then it doesn't matter what pieces you use to swap. The principle remains. So what's actually changing is our understanding of the function of these spirits and the levels of interaction and relationship that are close to us. And this is where my course gets really interesting, because there's a whole category of spirits that most people don't even talk about. See, you've probably heard the phrase, or even said it yourself, the universe is going to provide for me, right? Reality is going to work everything out. We believe that this magical, great being is specifically focused on us and is arranging everything in our favor. Is this true? Is this false? It is very true, especially if you believe it. But just because that's true doesn't explain how it works. There's levels and there's gradients, and there are many steps between you and God. Many, 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 many steps. And this is exactly what we are covering in the Spirit Summoning Master System. We're going to really break down exactly what spirits are. And I got to say this for the record, this is not a course about how to summon demons. Yes, that'll be included, but that's not all this is about. So don't just think that this is just, oh, I'm going to summon a demon, or I'm not into demons, so I don't need to take this course. This is way beyond just demons. There are more types of spirits, infinitely more types of spirits. Well, specifically, 7 types in total. But this course is going to give you the essential foundation. Number 1, so you can stop being scared. Number 2, so there's no more confusion. This course is founded upon specific principles that makes it to where you can effortlessly work with any spirit that has ever been conceived of by the mind of man, because the foundation is solid. So it doesn't matter what pantheon you choose. The different gods and goddesses and whatnot, that's content. And the content is infinite. There will always be content. And guess what? There will be new gods. But the context that I teach in this course is so solid that it can be used now and into the future for the rest of your life and beyond. So when we said the universe has my back, and and the universe is going to make it happen. This is true, but there's a process. And understanding exactly what spirits are helps you to understand that process. If you guys have been with me on the Kabbalah book study, you notice that there's the four worlds of manifestation, the four worlds that are the unfolding of the initial principle all the way down into the manifested dimension. There's at least 4 steps. 4 is the magic number. Understanding these 4 steps in a practical way allows you to know what stage of the manifestation you're at. Because most people want to work with spirits to manifest specific things. Well, did you know that if you're able to break the ritual down into stages, you'll know what type of spirit to work with depending on the stage. For example, if you don't even know what you want, there's a spirit to help you with that. If what you want exists but it's out of your reach, there's a spirit to help with that. If what you want exists and it's within your grasp, but you can't get to it, there's a spirit for that. And finally, if it's in your grasp and you just want it to change, there's a spirit for that. This is the type of thing that I'm teaching in this course. So it's not just about demons. It's about all types of spirits. Now people ask also, well, are these spirits real? Is the Goetia real? Or is it just parts of my unconscious mind? Well, first of all, the question is, what is real? If by real do you mean that this is something that you can see and touch with your hands? Well, I'd have to ask you, how many other things exist that are very real that you can't see or touch? Like viruses, like radio waves and Wi-Fi, cell phone waves, and all manner of things. Being able to detect it with your 5 senses is an inaccurate criteria to determine something is real or not. But to get really to the point, are these spirits, are these demons and angels and gods and goddesses, are they real or are they just figments of my imagination? Are they part of my unconscious mind? Well, here's the thing that you have to realize. You're connected as one being. There's plenty of people all over the internet who will just explain away and say, I am all things. Oh, I am God. Well, I don't need to work with any demons or spirits because I'm God. Well, understand that, first of all, what's incorrect about that statement isn't the statement itself, but the understanding that the person has to say that. There's a huge gap between you and what you call God. Now, you are connected as the same entity for sure, but at different levels. Just like if you have a Big Mac from McDonald's, you got the lower bun and the meat and the lettuce and onions and cheese, and then another bun. It's one burger, but there's different layers. You find yourself at the bottom. Now, in order to realize yourself as the entire sandwich, you've got to understand the different layers. And those different layers are what we call the spirit world. Those are the spirits. And there's different types, there's all types. And yes, you are all of them. Or should I say they're aspects of you. The truth is, yes, they are parts of your unconscious mind. And yes, they are independent of you. But these entities utilize your unconscious mind as an interface to communicate. So in this course, I'll be teaching you exactly how to be able to invoke that conversation, to maintain that conversation, to strengthen that conversation, so there's no more confusion about this process. This doesn't have to be limited to movies and fairy tales. And to be honest, if you get your spiritual information from Hollywood, you're setting yourself up for disappointment, because that's not how it works, at least not on the physical plane. There's multiple planes of existence. You're a multidimensional being. But you got to understand what that means. Greetings. My son has forgotten the password to the tablet. And now we're back. Now back to spooky trance. Patchwork, piece, piece. Bestbrook says, makes sense as to why there's so many belief systems and pantheons. Exactly. And the thing is, it all appears so scattered until you find the connecting patterns in between all of them. Romanese 77, peace. Zay zooming, peace, peace. Cosmic Flow, peace. Pablo X69, greetings, greetings. Kebros SS God, I know you're in there like swimwear. We will begin very soon. Jarrett Hooks, peace, peace. Atropa, peace, good to see you. Glorify, he says, we're all part of one social memory complex. Absolutely, absolutely. And just like we're all part of the same sandwich, it helps to recognize what part of the sandwich you are and what the other parts are. Because we can say that I am God, I am all things, but those are just words unless you connect those words to some type of symbolic concept that makes sense. And I know for a fact that most people that say that don't have a symbolic concept of what that means. Matter of fact, the next time you hear somebody say that I am God, I am all things, ask them to explain what that means. Occult Cat TV, peace. Society Eject says, yes, confusing and misinformation about spirit working is why a lot of people are scared. Absolutely. And I've talked to a lot of people about this course. People are asking me questions like, Trav, am I ready for this at my stage? What if I don't want to work with demons, etc., etc.? And that's why I'm making this video. It's not about summoning demons. This course is about how to work with spirits of all types, including ancestors, including elementals. And when was the last time you found a book that teaches you about elementals? Oh, wait. And if you did find a book, did it actually give you practical information? See, these are the type of secrets that are not available to the general curiosity. Not because it's tightly kept by some robed figures in a well-lit bathroom, but because the majority of humanity is not refined enough to be able to understand that type of information. So naturally, we tune it out. What is created for the world to receive is a response to humanity needing it. So what I mean by that is, don't get upset about the type of music that's popular right now, because there's a large portion of humanity that needs that type of music, that wants those vibrations. So instead of complaining about this music industry or this movie or this movement, understand with your occult mindset that what happens in this world is an afterthought. It's a response of something else that started at a higher frequency. And when I say higher frequency, what I mean is it didn't start on the physical plane. It didn't start on the etheric plane or the astral plane. It started higher up. Manifestation is a trickle-down effect. By the time you light your candle and do your ritual, it's already been set in motion. The physical plane is the final step. But most people think it's the first step and the only step. This is why there's no success. The ritual doesn't start when you light the candle. The ritual doesn't even start when you find the spirit you want to work with. The ritual starts long before that. See, what I also want to help to clarify in this course is that most of you have already been working with spirits, and you can feel that. You just don't know how to explain it yet. There's clear examples of exactly how you've been interacting with spirits and how to strengthen that relationship. As a matter of fact, this course is newbie safe. It is safe for beginners. So much so that the first couple of rituals, I literally hold your hand and walk you through the process through a guided meditation and also through video clips of me showing you what to do. So if you're afraid that you're going to do it wrong, take this course. I'll show you exactly what to do. If you've been struggling with good versus evil, right? You're afraid that if you do this, you're going to go to hell or whatever. I break that down as well. There's nothing in this course that is evil. In truth, the only evil is human ignorance. But if you're somebody that's struggling with good versus evil because of your Christian background, got the cure for that as well. One more time, this course is not about working with demons and selling your soul. That's foolishness. That's Hollywood. That's not a reality. And that's definitely not what's in this course. But this course does answer all the questions you have about how to work with spirits, what spirit to work with, how to strengthen that relationship, and how to know I'm making progress, how to know I'm not just making this up, how do I know I'm not just wasting my time. All this stuff is answered because I lay down a framework, which is a certain criteria of how to address the situation. And good versus evil is not a part of that criteria because it's inefficient. It's not efficient for good results. I have better criteria in this course that allows you to know what you're doing and to make sure you're doing it right. I know what I'm doing. Just in case you haven't been watching my channel for all this time, I know what I'm doing, and I know how to teach other people how to do it as well. So what I'm saying right now is that the door is open to go ahead and enroll in this class. We begin on Thursday. And the benefit of enrolling now is I've got a few special bonuses. Number one, you're going to get 50% off of the next course, which is working with the Goetia, a deep dive. If you enjoyed that video that I posted the other day, there's a whole lot more down that rabbit hole. A whole lot more that I've had to dig for in very expensive books. And so here's the thing, I read the books, I did the research, I did the study, I did the practice, I've done all this for you. So it saves you time. And I'm going to show you exactly what I've done that works. And again, this isn't just about me and how I think. I've gone to the lengths of also asking and reaching out to other practitioners to share their methods, to share their philosophy, just so that new people and inexperienced people can see it isn't about one man's opinion, but we're dealing with, there's a certain framework that is related to success. So that's what this course is teaching, success. Romani says, I prefer individuality though. Does this enable me or limit me? What do you mean by individuality? What do you mean by you prefer individuality as opposed to what? Occult Cat TV says, the more we push our evolution, the deities are able to evolve. Beautiful title. It's true. And that's what's happening. They're intrinsically linked with us. We're in a relationship with these entities. They exist because humanity exists. Not because one individual person, but because humanity as a whole. That is the fuel for these entities. That is the reason they exist. We exist because of them, and they exist because of us. It's a cosmic symbiosis. So as we evolve and as we change, because we are existing within time and space, we naturally have to evolve and change. Therefore, our perception and our understanding of ourselves changes. And intrinsically, our perception and understanding of these spirits changes. So again, if your only resources are ancient books that haven't been touched in hundreds of years, you're going to get some good information, some good source information. But if you get stuck on the content and you don't find the underlying context, which doesn't change, you're going to get lost in the sauce. As you probably have been reading a lot of these ancient grimoires, I got stuck on the content, right? But after years and years and years and thousands of pages, I come to find that there are patterns that connect the dots and make this make sense. Dara Holland, peace. Infernographer says, I found a book about elementals. It's called Fang Numina. Okay, I will be checking that out. Cybernet says, very true. I've had results in preparation for a ritual. You are 100% correct. Infernographer says, hey, maybe there are spirits in this chat right now. You never know, right? Well, that's the thing. You're in this chat. Are you not a spirit? Do you not have a spirit? I wonder what all this is about. Chaotic Xmar says, what are some of the examples of unconsciously talking to spirits? Good question. So we always exist in a trance state. There's never a moment that you're not in trance. You're just going from one type of trance to another type of trance. Now, if you're a master of your own mind, you choose what trances you want to go in and when you go into them. Most people don't choose. They get triggered by some external stimulus and go into trance. So let's say, for example, you're driving your car to work. Naturally, you're going to go into a trance. Now, say you're a person with road rage. Somebody cuts you off or it goes too slow, and you start cussing and spewing out low vibrating negativity. Well, you're literally giving commands. You're giving commands. And those commands have been pulled up forth from your unconscious mind, because if you've got road rage and you snap and get triggered by something like that, that's evidence of an unhealed shadow. There's something in your shadow that hasn't been healed. So that right there is spiritual influence. And when this thing pipes up and uses you as a vessel to manifest itself in the physical plane, something receives that. That's intention that you spewed out into the atmosphere. Something receives that. And depending on you, you might be in contact with something that receives that command that you issued and might make something manifest out of it. Not just road rage. How many of us actually watch ourselves as we talk? How much negativity do you spew out at yourself? Oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, I've got bad luck. Oh, I always fail. I never win. Oh, nothing ever works out for me. All that stuff right there, those are commands that you're issuing forth. And they're coming up out of an unhealed shadow. And they're going into the light to become something else. And it's no wonder that you stay stuck in loops of depression, anger, regret, shame, all those different things. It's because you're feeding entities and telling them what to do. It's not about evil spirits attacking you and you're cursed and hexed. No. You have the power to command spirits. Even Jesus told you that. Luke chapter 10 or 11. You have the power to command spirits, and that's what you do. That's what you do at all times, especially when you're in trance. There's a perfect example for you. Christopher Ramjitan says, all comes from the same source. Absolutely. But are you aware of what that means? The Asia Divine Jewel, good to see you. Juju says, Trav the goat, keep going. You know, I like the goat, but I like to go even further and be the dragon. Stop. Intergalactic Mind, peace, peace. Isaac McCoy, good to see you, good to see you. Av says, can a full path work through clip-off merge the shadow side completely? Yes, but that's literally the most, in my estimation, the most inefficient way to go about that process. You're plunging yourself head first into the realm of things that no longer serve a purpose in the current stage. And here's what I mean by that. You got to understand what the clip-off is. I don't know you, so I don't know what you've been through, but I do know the people that I've talked to. Most people don't understand what the clip-off is. It's not the scary hell dimension. The clip-off is, okay, so let's look at time, right? Here you are today, and there's yesterday, and there's tomorrow. And as you move through time, your awareness is limited to yesterday and tomorrow, right? Now, if we start to expand that scope from yesterday and tomorrow to last year and next year, things start getting real hazy. Like, yeah, you can remember some details, but you don't remember all of it. Because by default, you have to delete information. You have to distort information because there's so much time has passed. And you have to generalize information just so you can kind of speed up the thought process. So if we extend that now to 5 years in the past and 5 years in the future, there's even more things that are becoming lost. So let's expand that indefinitely, right? The data is so dark that it's literally a void. It's a void. And you can't pick out between what's reality and unreality simply because you weren't there. Your awareness isn't there. Now, like I said, there were a lot of things that were deleted, distorted, and generalized. And all that information that's been left out, you've deemed it as useless. It is not something efficient to help me today, hence why you forgot it. Going into the clip up is going into humanity's unconscious mind, the collective unconscious, and sorting through everything that we've deleted, distorted, and generalized as a species. And most of that stuff we deleted with good reason. If you go by evolution and say that monkeys grew thumbs and all that stuff, you're digging through data, mountains, piles, and cosmos is full of data, of information that no longer serves itself useful. Like, let's say the in-between period before thumbs were developed, like all the little things like that. So yes, you can go back and use the clip off, but it's going to be very difficult because you've got to sort through a lot of things that may not even apply to you. To circumvent that is to be able to hone your focus and hone your ability of non-attachment. You've got to be able to have some sharp non-attachment, because inevitably, as a human being floating through the muck of the clip off, you're going to find something fascinating and get stuck, or something's going to find you fascinating. The only way to circumvent that is through non-attachment and extreme focus. I would build that before diving through the clip off. That's what experience teaches. Focus, non-attachment, discipline. Randy Hertz says Chevron on my credit card, seeing if it's working. Awesome, awesome. Lotus O. Drake, peace. William Young says, should I take this course if I haven't done any shadow work? As I said, I designed this course for absolute beginners as well as people who have been experienced. So naturally, if you've taken any of my courses in the past, you're probably going to get the best result. If you haven't taken my courses and if you haven't done any shadow work, you can still have success with this course. There is a little bit of shadow work principles in here, but I would highly suggest that you continue doing your shadow work. Here's why. Let's take the image of a flame, a person, and the shadow that's cast. What we're looking at is when you go through life, and let's say you don't like smokers. Let's say you used to smoke cigarettes, but you quit. Now every time you see somebody who smokes, you get triggered and angry, and you're like, ugh, what a nasty habit. That person is a nasty person. I would never date a smoker, da 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 da. So the fire is you seeing that person that's smoking, and it has ignited, and the light is shining on you. Now you're interpreting it based off of the shadow that has been cast, which is the unhealed awareness of yourself. You're actually judging yourself in the past, right? But you're projecting it onto that person because they triggered you to feel this feeling. Now, instead of you having the maturity to focus on yourself and say, you know what, I'm feeling this because I have unhealed issues and it's time to heal those issues. The problem with having an unhealed shadow and working with magic is that when you do begin to make purposeful, intentful communication with these entities, you're going to be projecting your shadow. Now, like I said, I do have some modules in this course that helps you circumvent that, but please do your shadow work. So if you're receiving any communication from these entities that pleases your ego or talks down on someone or puts a bad light on someone or pits you against someone or something, more than likely, that's your ego and you're filtering what the spirit is telling you through your ego. That's why I say it's important to do shadow work. And you can hear it. Just listen to people who supposedly channel spirits and all these other things. If it's about your ego, that's coming from you. It's coming from you, baby. Not no spirit. These spirits are so general, so broad, most of them, that they don't have time to develop an opinion about you and somebody in your life. That's all you. Lotus Drake says, the Great Mother provides and takes, so make your steps with lucidity and haste. Yes, ma'am. William Young says, is the shadow work course still available? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. If you're interested in taking that, you can go to shadowworkmastery.com, or you can message me and I'll give you the link. Vincent Del Cristol, peace. The Asia Divine Jewel says, I get that a lot because I still smoke. Right? And any type of judgments on another person at all, that's your shadow. You should have no time or energy to judge anybody. I don't have time to have enemies. I don't have time to have beef. I don't have time to pay attention to what someone's doing and say, I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, all right? When you get to a certain level with your spiritual practice, you're gonna understand what's called the Oath of the Abyss. This is also covered in the course. And basically, what happens with the Oath of the Abyss is that you realize that all of reality is a conversation between you and the divine. Whether you want to call it God, whether you want to call it your higher self, the name doesn't matter. Don't get stuck on names. That's TikTok baby witch stuff. Don't get stuck on the titles. Understand the concept. All of reality, you'll understand this once you advance on your path. All of reality is simply a conversation between you and the divine. So everything that's happening in between, the divine is just using matter as a communication device. That's it. So when we really talk about spiritual work and working with spirits, that's what we're doing. You're learning how to engage in this conversation back. Great example, right? Here's a great example. My son just came in here to give me the tablet so I could put the password in. Small talk, right? Most of us don't like engaging in small talk with regular folks because it's a waste of time. But there are instances where you do have to engage in small talk. I engage in small talk with my son because he doesn't want to talk about the stuff that we're doing here. He's not old enough to even be interested in any of this. So that leaves nothing but small talk. So what I do is I watch his programs with him. I figure out what he's doing. Now I have a way to communicate with him to keep his interest. Oh, you like this show or this cartoon? Okay, cool. Let's talk about life using these things as metaphors. And he understands because I'm speaking his language. So likewise, when I said that this is a conversation between you and God, right? To you and God, you're more like that little child, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. God being God, right? There are things in the mind of God. And again, it's just a word and a title. Don't get all triggered. Oh, I don't like Christianity. Stop that. The mind of God is so expansive. None of us are refined enough to receive the real conversation. So he tries to get our attention, or she, or it, whatever, attempts to get our attention, attempts to communicate with us in a language that we understand. And it isn't until we start paying attention that we're able to communicate back, right? This is why you're experiencing synchronicities. 1111, 333, 555, right? How many of you started seeing these numbers, right? And at first it was really cool. Oh, angel numbers, 1111, right? It was exciting. But then it kept happening. It keeps happening, right? Then you're like, oh, 1111 again. It's cool, but what the fuck does it mean? Oh, 333 again. It's cool, but what are the angels trying to tell me? Well, here's the thing. It's not always trying to tell you something. That's literally just a sign that the conversation is still going. And once you're able to acknowledge that the conversation is still going, hopefully the next step is that you start to learn where else the conversation is taking place. It isn't just with the numbers, it's happening all around. Now, again, as you evolve on your path, right, because the first step is saying, oh wow, magic is real. The second step is saying, oh, oath of the abyss, it's all between me and God. Then there's another step. That's when you start to recognize that the conversation is not just happening on the microwave clock or on your iPhone. Everything in your life is the conversation. All the people, all the events, every time you look outside and it's a full moon, like everything. The opportunities, the losses, the gains, the job, everything is the actual words of the conversation, the notes of the song. And being able to break that down and understand what's being said is the art of magic. That's why you can work with any spirit. That's why I can use action figures or candles or steaming smoke and make things happen because I understand how it's connected to the divine. When you understand how it's connected to the divine, there's a step after that. You know what that step is? It's called union. That's when you realize that it isn't just a conversation between you and God. It's all you. So that's what I mean when people are like, oh, I am God. I'm all things. You don't believe that. You're just saying that because you heard somebody else say it. When you understand it, you display it, right? You don't have to say it. You don't have to say it. You prove it. So this is what this path is. A gradual unity with the divine. Is any of this making sense? Is any of this making sense? Let me know in this chat. As McCoy says, as I do the shadow work, magic starts to happen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because you're clearing away a lot of that gunk. You're clearing away a lot of that unhealed blockage. So the conversation can come through clearly. Sunshine Chick. Been a while. Good to see you. Freda F says, gotta meet people where they're at. Doing that with deity is gonna take some extra steps. That's what the work is for, right? And understand that some of these spirits are more advanced than you. So it's not that you're trying to contact them, it's that they've been trying to contact you. But you're a 5-year-old kid worried about, I don't know, some cartoon. Or should I say, what Kanye West is doing, or what the president is doing, or scared of some natural disaster, right? You're focused on the distractions instead of getting the lesson. Wealth, success, peace. The Asia Divine Jewel says, yes, the synchronicities have been crazy. I've been noticing recently all I can do is smile and give thanks, right? Right? That's the conversation. That's what I'm talking about. It ain't just 11:11. The angels must be talking to me. No, it's a conversation. And once you develop in this path, you'll be able to talk back, and that's when it gets really fun. That's what this course is about. How to work with spirits, how to talk back. Cannot. Peace, brother. Peace. Rusty Shackleford, peace. Violet Phoenix, peace. Give me some thumbs up on this video. We got like way more people in the chat and not enough likes. Please tap that button. Not just because it makes me feel good, but also because it helps the algorithm sort my content with content that is worth watching. So please hit the like button. Juju says, notes of the song. Yeah, can't get caught up on one note. There's a whole composition at hand, right? Romany says, what if I don't want to be all things, but only specific things that I have chosen? I mean, you can do that too. You can do that too. But if ultimate reality is unity, then you have to ask yourself, you have to question the motives that you have for what you're saying. Understand where the motives are coming from. If the ultimate goal and the ultimate end result is unity, then ask yourself, what do you have that is resistant to that? Raider F says, we've been trying to reach you about your soul's extended warranty. Yes. That's the message that you get, right? Hi, this is God. We've been trying to reach you about your soul's extended warranty. I mean, really? Really? Because like, just follow this train of thought, right? Let's say you do get to that point where you truly realize that everything is literally just a communication device for undifferentiated consciousness. If that's the case, what are you going to say to God? What are y'all going to talk about? Let's say you get all the stuff you want. You get your money, you get your sex, you get your healthy body, healthy vegan, vegetarian lifestyle, whatever you're talking about. Let's say you get all that. Is that going to entertain you for the rest of your life? No. You're going to want something more, something deeper, something real. That's when the conversation starts hitting close to home. Because once the body is satisfied with all the little, pleasantries of life, this is what we call low magic, by the way. Getting those pleasantries pleased. After the pleasantries have been fulfilled, now you move to high magic, which is talking about your soul's extended warranty. What's next? Where do we go from here? Is it possible for me to retain my consciousness after this body is finished, right? Think about where this is going. It isn't just about lighting a candle and being spooky in the mirror. Like, that's the start, but it leads somewhere. So with this course, you're going to learn how to accelerate that process. So you don't have to be scared. You're not dealing with anything foreign. You're not dealing with anything that is out to harm you. You're literally dealing with your unconscious aspects. Av says, are pacts necessary, or is this just an particular ideology? So that's what I'm saying, man. Like, what I'm teaching here goes beyond any of that stuff. You don't have to sell no soul. You don't got to sign no pact. You don't have to do none of that. Why would you? Who are you selling? You know what do you? If that's what you need to make you act serious, then yes. If that's what you need to take this path serious, do it. But it's not necessary. Who are you signing a pact with? How do you sign a pact? Follow it through. Follow it through. We're dealing with cosmic intelligence in all of its forms. All of its forms. If you are God, and God is trying to tell you that, what kind of pact do you need to sign? Who makes you sign pacts? Car salesmen? Landlords? Basically people that want to answer your question, you don't have to do that unless that's what you need for you to sit down and take it seriously. Chaotic Xmar says, would you say that spirits have a hand in manifestation, or is that just a conversation with God? Absolutely. Absolutely. Spirits are what makes manifestation. Let's say that you think about a certain thing and you're like, yeah, I would love to have that. The moment that you set your heart to have it and you do something physical to symbolize that, the process has begun. Now, depending on your relationship with these spirits, it could happen as soon as you walk out the door. It could happen as soon as you get to the store. It could happen as soon as you open up your phone, you'll see it. You've been noticing these synchronicities pop up. These are the results of your relationship with these entities. It's not just Facebook and whatever tracking you and, oh, they heard me say umbrella, so now they're showing me umbrella ads. Yeah, that's a part of it, but that don't explain it all. Because if you're like me and some of the people that I've been talking to, it don't just happen on ads. You're also seeing it in real life. You're seeing it all over the place. Yes, that's part of the conversation, and the conversation is manifestation. And if you're able to break down the manifestation into different steps and stages, like I said earlier, you can figure out what spirit to work with. That's what this course is about, I'm telling you. Those who take my course and actually do the work, you're going to remove so many questions and confusions that you've had for years about this stuff. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been down the road that leads to foolishness. I made the mistakes. I got wrapped up in the dumb shit. I did. And I got out of it too. Because I wasn't there for content. I was there to find the ultimate context. What do I mean by that? Somebody messaged me and they're like, well, Trev, how come you don't talk about black entities and black culture? I'm kind of offended that you working with a culture that's not ours. Does that sound like a comment that is based on content or context? I'm not here to reminisce over black entities, y'all. And furthermore, who said that this wasn't ours, that this wasn't mine, right? Who said that? I didn't say that, you said that. And what are you basing that on? You're basing that on limited knowledge. That's content. That's content. So it's past the human level stuff. This has nothing to do with your ethnicity, right? Sure, your lineage does have an impact on the conversation, but guess what? It goes way deeper. The most intelligences in this universe don't have a physical body. The vast majority of intelligences that exist do not have a physical body. So that right there should tell you how this race stuff is simply there to make you feel good and to boost your ego or to cause separation. Now, if the goal is unity with the divine, that means at some point you are unified with that thing that you think you're an enemy to. Or did y'all not get that far? Society Eject says, would you be going in about allegedly spirit throwing shit around your house and knocking on doors and all the lights and going off, basically all the Hollywood description of evil spirits? I didn't originally include anything about that, but I guess I could. I guess if people are still afraid of that kind of thing. And even if that does happen, that's still connected to you. Who do you think is doing all that stuff? You're doing all that stuff. There was a big clue in, even though we don't base our knowledge on movies, no, we don't do that. There was a big clue in that one, what's it called? Insidious. How this poltergeist activity followed the family, it follows specific individuals. It's not that you're being haunted. It's that you've got psychic ability that is out of control. The individual is causing it. It's not no evil demons or spirits, but you can use entities and spirits to channel your will. That's what you're doing anyway, because it's all you. I don't know if they're hearing me. I hope they're hearing me. Av, no, it's not a dumb question. There's never any dumb questions. I mean, you may interpret it as me coming up harsh or whatever, but no. I love questions of all types because number one, if you asked it, then there was something that you wanted to clarify. Number two, I love questions because they help me pull out information that sometimes I didn't realize was there. So no, it's not a dumb question. Ask what is on your mind. Veronica, hello, greetings. Zach M says, have use for spirits instead of being dependent on them. That's one way to look at it. But as I said, the ultimate goal is unity. So hopefully you're working with spirits and trying to figure out how they are you. Just like your fingers, your hands, and your arms are you, these spirits are, and you are a part of something much greater. But you don't realize that if you think of yourself being separate. I'm telling y'all, if you have these questions, you need to take this course. I'm telling you. This is the third course that I've done, right? And I've got plenty of people who've been through my courses. And I have not heard one person tell me that they wasted their time and they wasted their money. I have not heard one person tell me that they didn't get what they came for. Tavam Asi. Good point, Maestro. Romany77 says, how many forms of this unity are there? Look at the root of the word unity, and that should tell you. Well, success says, is the conversation happening because we asked for it at some point in our lives, or is that just written in our destiny that way? The same way that you are constantly seeking answers, those answers are constantly seeking you. Life is more than the physical plane, y'all. It's more than the physical plane. The very fact that you're out here asking these questions means that these questions are looking to get, the answers are looking to get to you. If you're asking these questions, the answers are looking to get to you. You seen that picture of God and Adam trying to touch fingers? That's what we're dealing with. Isaac McCoy said, this is why I bought the course. Take advantage of a small fee to get the information that someone else spent years to get and get to work for more and better results. Thanks, JT. Thank you. Right, and as you said, years of my life condensed into nuggets that you can just pick up, right? These videos, the videos aren't like 6, 7, 8 hours long, right? I tried to keep everything under 20 minutes. So the videos are like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So if you want to, you can watch a couple a day. And like I said, there's even a point there where I literally walk you through how to do a ritual. We're going to summon 3 specific spirits together. So don't join this course hoping to just watch the videos and then, oh, that was good intro. No, you have to do some work. You have to put some work in. I'm telling you right now, that's the only way to get a full understanding of what it is that we're doing here. Freighter F says, as a Caucasian, you have my permission to use white people's spirits. I appreciate that. Violet Phoenix, peace. Oh, I'm way behind on this chat, huh? Robert Blackmore says, how much are you in this course focusing on techniques of communication, meaning the actual method of discerning and understanding what's being communicated? Thank you for your work always. A big part of this course is based on that. Like I said, this is designed for newbies and also people who've been doing work. I want you to walk away from this course understanding what spirits are, what the communication with them actually is, and how to go back and forth and make something happen with it. In order to do that, you've got to know what's being said. Are you receiving something from an external, quote unquote, external source, or is it just you talking to yourself? Like, there are different contextual pillars that I've set up that you apply to what you receive. And through those pillars, you'll be able to diagnose what exactly is going on. So as far as like actual methods, yeah, there's quite a few, but I'm really encouraging you to see how you're already doing it. That's the difference in this course. Yes, I'm going to teach you certain techniques, but the biggest part of this course is showing you that you're already there. Like I said, everything's a reflection. The same way that God is trying to show you at all times that you are God, with this course, the Spirit Summoning Master System, I'm trying to show you that you're already doing this, but you just don't realize it. Now, once you realize it is when you wake up and you start doing it better. Asia Divine Jewel says, I find myself talking to Spirit Squad almost like imaginary friends, even though I know they are a part of me. Yes, yes. And that's how you're supposed to do it, right? That's how you're supposed to do it. Because the unconscious mind, it is a vast reservoir of intelligence. Think of it as a computer, right? You've got to have your interface. You got to have your screen and your mouse, and you got to click on stuff to access the files. Communicating with these entities as if they were symbolically something else, that's what you're supposed to do. That's how you pull out that information. Just like I said, I enjoy when y'all ask questions, because that is my interface to pull some of this information out. So yes, talk to yourself. Good job. Chaotic X Mars says, is predicting stuff a few seconds before it happens a part of synchronicity? Like I've been typing questions to ask, but you already said the answer and then I just delete. Yeah, that's part of it. But also I'm tapped into what you guys are tapped in. I mean, I've been doing this for a long ass time. We all are thinking on a specific level, and there are thoughts, there are impulses that are resonating on that level. And if you, it's not that I'm special, if you or anyone knows how to access that level, you can start pulling out ideas and information that's on a lot of people's minds. Hasn't that been happening? Like, just look through all my comments and all my videos. Wow, Trav, you posted this. I was just thinking about this the other day. We were just talking about this the other day. It's not necessarily that I'm this special, magnificent, beautiful creature. I mean, I am, but when you're able to access a certain level of information, you see that there is unity, there's connection on these levels. That includes human consciousness as well. I better get off of this live stream before I give away everything. If you haven't liked this video, please hit that like button. Wealth Success says, it says in the book, Holographic Universe, it's all you doing that. Absolutely, my friend. It is a hologram. The Age of Divine Jewel says, I'm going to need that course, TK Trav. Come on, the door is opening on Thursday. The link is in the description of this video. If you're ready to sign up, the link is in the description of this video. And the benefit of signing up, the main benefit, number one, you're getting 50% off the Goetia course. Number two, you're going to get included into the mastermind group. So we can have private discussions about your progress and about certain things that are working for you. And you can hear other people talk about their experiences. You can talk about your experience, because there's probably not too many people you can talk to about your experience. How much is that worth to you? How valuable is that? Being able to be in a space to talk about your spiritual work, and not only do people understand what you're saying, but you're also not getting judged. Kim Hecka, peace. So Poor 777 says, what's the best Goetia spirit to work with as a beginner? I mean, literally, it depends on what your intent is. There's 72 spirits. It's not that one is better than the other. It all depends on what you're doing. It's you, it's not spirits, it's you. So what are you planning to do with these spirits? We need that piece of information before we can say what spirit is better. There's no better spirit. Like, it's general, you gotta single it down. Clarity. This is what I teach in my class. That's why I say it's beginner friendly. You have to have clarity. If you don't have clarity, you won't even know if you're having success, if you don't even know what you're doing. It starts with you. It starts with your intention. What are you trying to do? When you figure that out, now we choose, what demon do I use? What candle do I use? Can't pick before. Chaotic X Mars says, some say king payment. But again, like what I just said, king payment for what? What if what you're trying to do doesn't involve king payment? Then that answer would be incorrect. It starts with you. You see what I'm saying? Like, and this is the type of information that's floating around the internet. I'm not talking about y'all too. Most people don't know what they're talking about. So misinformation is everywhere. That's why it's crucial to get some study and practice. Again, I'm not downing on y'all too. I'm not. But that's a perfect example of what I'm saying. Straight Panther says, all the questions you will have will be in the course. Trust me, it'll be there. Right. If you guys remember, a couple months ago, I did a video asking you to write all your questions down. And there was like over 100+ comments of questions. Yeah. I'm not just pulling this out of my ass, y'all. Kim Hecka says, when's the course start? It starts on Thursday, but the tuition is open right now. And like I said, there's a special bonus if you go forth now. The bonus will go away once class starts. Chaotic Mars says, this is my first live, by the way, and I love the unity here. Cool. Good to have you, brother. Hope you come back to more. Sud Eject says, yeah, Travis, you're spilling the beans. Yeah, I might have to take this video down. I tried to be discreet. But man, I'm just so excited. Plus, I'm a Gemini. And Geminis have to communicate. So, yeah. There's a lot in this course that you're going to want to get a hold of. Trust me. What I've spilled is only a small fraction. Paula Vegeta says, I consider myself lucky to have a cousin that would watch hours of Bobby with me. Yeah, that's lucky. Amar Ahmad, peace, my brother, peace. Congratulations to you on the new addition to your family. The Asia Divine Jewel says, I don't care about being judged. What's going to happen if someone judges me? Yeah. Most of us are over it. Some people aren't, though. Like I said, I still do these consultations, and there are a lot of people who, that is something that they wish that they had in their lives. And I remember a time when I wished that I had. Man, when I first started my YouTube channel, I was sitting here running my mouth about all this occult stuff to anybody who would listen. And them folks did not give a damn. They would let me talk and then change the subject instantly. Yeah, that's cool. But let's go do XYZ. Terrible feeling. Not even about being judged, but just the fact that there's literally nobody that I can connect with. That sucked awfully. So I'm so happy to have this YouTube channel because I found that there are so many people who are like me. And then I learned that I'm not a weirdo. Food Abroad says, do you recommend reaching out to spirits just to learn about them and what they can help with? Absolutely. Blackwood says, what Sephiroth corresponds to the third eye chakra if Yesod corresponds to the sacral chakra? The third eye chakra is going to be linked up with Bina and Chesed together. Gemini gang. The Asia Divine Jewel says, do I have up until Thursday to sign up? If you want to take part in the mastermind group, yes. But the class will be available after that. But what I'm trying to do is collect a certain group of individuals who are very serious and that we can go in on these group conversations and get some real results. Because I have a feeling that you all will teach me something that I don't quite know yet. I'm searching for the final mother box. Midnight Mina says, I just came on a few minutes ago, so I apologize if the question was already answered. Is there anyone who should not take this course? You probably shouldn't take this course if you're the type of person who's going to go into something new, like, I already know all this. Basically, if you're closed-minded and you know that you're closed-minded and you can't help being closed-minded, this probably won't be the course for you. But if you're somebody who's new, who's never worked with spirits, if you're somebody who's a Christian or used to be a Christian, or if you're afraid of good and evil, if you're afraid of demons and all that stuff, yes, you can take this course because I'm going to break all that down. I'm going to get all that stuff off your back so you don't have to worry about it anymore. If you're a Christian, if you're afraid of demons, if you're afraid of good versus evil, if you think you're going to go to hell, if you're afraid of selling your soul, yes, take this course because I'm going to show you that none of that stuff is necessary and it never has been necessary. If you're somebody that's like, oh, I want to work with this group of spirits, but I'm not from that race, or I'm not from that lineage, or I have to be initiated. Yes, you should take this course because I'm going to show you how to get around all that. This course covers every spirit. There are none that are left out. I'm telling you. But if you're closed-minded and if you're just stuck to whatever you're stuck with, you probably shouldn't take this course because you're going to get offended. You're going to get offended. Is anybody out there listening to me? Shout out to Bobby Emmett. Romany says, I don't like connecting with everyone and everything, just some people and some things. Even then, I want to limit what comes through them and even strangers. Right, so when I talk about unity, I'm talking about something that's far past human ego. If you stay on the human ego level, that's when psychic ability sucks. Because now you're hearing everybody's pain and suffering and prejudices and filthy shit. That's when being telepathic is awful. But when you learn to raise past that level, you start to see that humanity is just that nasty film on the tub after you're finishing washing yourself after being really dirty. There's many, many more levels of divinity that is not tainted by human filth. Just look at the tree of life and how the serpent cannot go past a certain level, which means that those higher levels are more subtle. There's less room for misinterpretation. So the higher realms don't have all that stuff where it's like, oh, I don't want to. That's all coming from humanity, not divinity. Now, humanity is an expression of divinity, but humanity is content, where divinity is context. Food Abroad says, who's your favorite spirit to work with, Trav? I will reveal Dantalion and also Lucifer, but I won't reveal the others yet. CJ Whaley says, what is the purpose of evocation, Trav? For my studies, a lot of teachers recommend invocation. What's up? All right, well, I will cook you dinner. Let me finish up this live stream. Okay. All right, so I guess I do have to go. Little boy's getting hungry. Purpose of evocation for my studies, invocation. So, evocation is basically when you are training yourself to use the extensions that you have, right? So you've got to train your body to be able to perform certain sports. You got to train your body to do certain yoga positions, right? You got to train your body to change your diet. You can't just jump cold turkey to a different kind of diet. You got to gradually train yourself. So evocation is training of using your extended will. Invocation is a training of how to incorporate the consciousness of that particular entity. Nothing is just snap of the finger overnight. All of these techniques and practices are training to get better at them. All right, so I gotta limit this so I can go feed my son. Let's see what else we got. Cosmic Flow says, cause the world loves it when you sing that tune, ba 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 da. As my cousin last night was telling me about his channel with Andre 3000's Pleiadian ancestors. Food Abroad says, also, Trav, do you know where the goetic sigils come from? Sometimes it makes me nervous to use the sigils that I don't understand the history of. Absolutely. I've been looking for that for years, and I found it. But that's going to be in the next course. Wealth Success says, besides Ganesha, what spirit would be good for removing blockages of all types? Guess what? When I said that I was going to walk you through 3 evocation rituals, one of them involves 3 spirits that do exactly that, which is why it's the first spirit that we work with. But I'm going to save that for the course. In the meantime, just work with Ganesha. Trailway says, how to get the course. The link is in the description of this video, spiritsummoningmasterclass.com. It's in the description of this video. I'll probably post it in the comments and pin it to the top. Greetings, Alex Cuckoo. Cosmic Flow says, that episode of Family Matters when Steve used his invention to hear what everybody was thinking, he couldn't focus during his exam. Yeah. When I was working with psionics a few years ago, if you guys remember when we were doing the psionics books, PDFs, that's when I really started to tap into psychic ability. And I almost gave up on it, but I knew that there had to be something more. So I learned how to transcend past all that stuff. I mean, it's cool. It's cool. It's not like X-Men and shit, but I mean, it's fun. And it comes naturally. It's not like you have to sit down and, oh, what are they thinking? It comes to you. In the future, I might do. Actually, we did cover a little bit of that in the inner light activation system. Vincent Del Cristol says, is the mastermind going to have group meetings? If so, when? Yes. We'll have our first meeting on Tuesday. I'll make a post about it on the website. And this first meeting, I'm going to ask you guys questions about what you specifically are excited to learn. And we'll make sure that you are getting exactly what it is that you're looking for. Food Abroad says, did you get a lot of this information from the spirits themselves? I've been wondering if they use humans to spread the word of truth about them. Absolutely. Now here's the thing. The way that I have been raised up in this spiritual community is to show your receipts. That's why I'm always showing you books. Because like, hey, this is where I got it from. I didn't make this shit up. But that doesn't mean I'm not learning from the spirits as well. Most of the time, the spirits give me the information first. And I've learned to keep my mouth shut about it until I can find some way to back it up myself. Because there are some people who I'll say, the spirits gave me this, and they'll be like, oh yeah, that's cool. And there's some people who say like, fuck all that, show me the book. So I like to have both bases covered. But yes, the spirits have always been teaching me, but I like to have it backed up with something that you can tangibly see for yourself, in the hopes that if you're serious, spirit will communicate with you as well. Good question. Sunshine Chick says, enroll now, spiritsummoningmastersystem.com. Thank you. Okay, so Jagayo Design says, when you said we should have already, peace Jagayo, by the way, when you said we should have already done shadow work, how exactly can we judge if I've seen enough of my darkness to do this work accurately? So the whole thing about the shadow work and to know if you are making progress is you can separate yourself from being in that reactionary mode. Like I said a little bit earlier, when that flame is present and there's a person standing in front of it, it casts a shadow. Now that flame is a spark of whatever trigger, right? So if there's somebody that is doing something that you don't like, say for example, you might get upset about happy couples because you're single. That would be the flame. You see that? You would cast your judgment on that based on an unhealed shadow. You got a part of yourself that is unhealed that you never addressed, you never even looked at to say, this is why I'm behaving that way. So if you never do that, the time between trigger and reaction is instant. Doing shadow work allows you to space that out. You're still going to get triggered because after years and years of allowing yourself to be triggered, it's a habit. So you have to break the habit gradually. But what happens with successful shadow work is that you separate yourself from that trigger so you can analyze it before it changes your state. Yes, the trigger is going to happen, but success in shadow work means that you're able to analyze and see, oh, now I understand why I get upset. This is why it's happening. But you don't let it go any further. That spark doesn't become a forest fire. That spark doesn't become an inferno. It stays a spark. That's how you know that you're making progress. And if you've gotten that far, that's half the battle. Because now all it takes is for you to be consistent and separating yourself from your triggers. And when you do that enough time, that flame starts to dwindle out. It starts to dwindle out because you fully understand that you're in control and not the unhealed aspect of yourself. Remember, it doesn't matter what started the problem. What matters is how you continue the problem. That's shadow work. It's not about going into your memory and trying to figure out, oh, this happened to me and this is why. That does nothing for you. Understanding why does nothing for you. Understanding how gives you the opportunity to change that pattern. All right, I'm dropping too much. I really should go now. Swank Hippie, peace, peace. Vic Effendi says, when are you doing a video on jinns and jinn magic? That's going to come a little bit later because I know a lot of people have been asking me about that in this course, so it's definitely going to come up. MC Maestro says the filter for your drinking water being dirty is like not doing shadow work. Treyway says I'm broke. Please keep the course going, for I will buy it one day. First of all, stop calling yourself broke. Second of all, absolutely, it's gonna be up for a while. All right. Jagayo says, okay, good, I understand. I have a good amount of distance. Thank you. Thank you. And I'll get back to you. I apologize for not responding, but I'll get back to you. All right, I gotta go feed my son. Thousand Flow says, yo, son hungry, right? All right, everybody. All right. Jay Panther says, is that the actual link for the course? Yeah, it's gonna be in the description. The domain for it is actually Spirit Summoning Master System. It's in the description. Like I said, as soon as I get out of here, I'll make a comment and I'll pin it. It should take you to the Magick Society website, and you'll see the details in the description for it. Good to go. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all coming. I hope that you learned something. I hope that you're excited to continue learning something, because it's about to go. Look, this is about to change things for real. This is about to change things, because the way people have been looking at this is outdated. It's outdated. Humanity has evolved, and we're evolving, or there are aspects of us that are evolving rapidly. So it's time to update our relationship with our unconscious aspects. And our unconscious mind is how these spirits and entities communicate with us. It's not just about working with demons. We're talking about all types of spirits, angels, fairies and unicorns, whatever. This covers all of them. Okay? All right. All right. So, peace to everybody. Keep sending me your questions. I'll make videos about them or answer them or whatever. I love y'all. Thanks for being here. I'm kidding. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777.